The bacterial chromosome has a circular DNA and one point of origin. From that point, the DNA replication proceeds in both the directions. DNA replication is bidirectional. Now at the replication at this eye or bubble, there are two forks moving in opposite directions. The events at this fork is same at that. So whether it is a prokaryotic replication or eukaryotic replication, the basic mechanism or molecular mechanism of DNA replication remains the same. Now let us have a look on the basic aspects of replication at a replication fork. Now this is a replication fork. Okay. So as discussed earlier, DNA polymerase needs a template. So the template is made available by the action of this helicase enzyme. This helicase enzyme unwinds the two strands of DNA, making a bubble or an eye. Now at this point, at this bubble, there are two forks and the events at a fork is same everywhere. Now as told earlier, DNA polymerases are of three types: polymerase 1, 2, 3. Polymerase 3 is the major polymerizing enzyme. It carries out polymerization. Now this needs an RNA primer, as it cannot initiate a chain new. That's why this needs a primer. That primer is synthesized. This is in the blue color. This is synthesized by one enzyme called primase. That is a kind of RNA polymerase. So as it primes the reaction, that's why the name primase. That's why the enzyme primase, and the primase synthesizes a oligonucleotide of RNA, 10 to 12 nucleotides long RNA, and now this is the 5' end and this is the 3' end of this RNA. So utilizing this, from this 3' OH end, the DNA polymerase can take up the reaction. The basic principle is, by seeing the basis of the template strand, okay, the nucleotides diffuse into this site, and one by one the nucleotides are added by this enzyme DNA polymerase 3. So here the template is read in 3' to 5' direction. This is the direction of the template strand, but the nascent strand synthesized on this, or DNA strand synthesized on this, goes in 5' to 3' direction, and any DNA polymerase has the property to elongate or polymerize in 5' to 3' direction. So this goes on continuously. Okay, but conversely, the other strand runs in 5' to 3' direction, and there are two important properties. One is complementarity, by which A pairs with T, G pairs with C, but another property is antiparallel. If one strand of DNA runs 5' to 3', so definitely the other one should be like this. So how this is possible in the other strand? Definitely in the other strand, the nascent strand cannot be synthesized continuously. Rather, the new strand is synthesized in patches discontinuously. So this kind of discontinuous synthesis of DNA in the other strand, other template, was discovered by Reiji Okazaki, which is Japanese. Reiji Okazaki of Nagoya University is Japanese. By utilizing tritiated thymine, he could discover that in one of the strands of DNA, DNA is synthesized discontinuously, and subsequently the discontinuity of the DNA is made continuous by other enzymes. Now there is absolutely no problem in this strand, but look at the other strand. Here priming is needed. Similarly, as the fork moves ahead, moves ahead and the opposite strand template is available, the primase enzyme synthesizes primer. It is also an RNA. Now using this primer, DNA polymerase synthesizes the DNA as seen here. This is a DNA polymerase, is a dimer. It is a dimer. This holoenzyme is a dimer, consists of 2 catalytic units. So that's why when this enzyme polymerizes the continuous strand, this enzyme also polymerizes the discontinuous strand. Now one problem is that in the discontinuously synthesized strand, the segments are called, this segment is called Okazaki fragment. This is called Okazaki fragment. So several Okazaki fragment, this is around 1000 to 2000 NTS long, nucleotides long. So now these discontinuous strands, because it has a lot of complications, how this can be made continuous, let us look at. Now this is a primer. To this primer, this polymerase goes on adding the nucleotides, making it at a DNA strand. Now each Okazaki fragment consists of a short primer, which is an RNA, followed by a segment almost of 2000 nucleotides long of DNA. So each Okazaki fragment consists of an RNA and followed by DNA. Now to make it continuous, the RNA must be removed. RNA must be removed and the gap must be filled up. The gap must be filled up. So here the enzyme DNA polymerase comes into action. DNA polymerase is a bifunctional enzyme. DNA polymerase 1 is a bifunctional enzyme. In one hand, it is an exonuclease. It is an exonuclease. It removes RNA from 5' to 3' direction. If you look at this is the RNA whose 5' and this is the 3' end. Similar, this is the 5' end of the DNA and this is 3'. Now this short segment of RNA must be removed, and I told this enzyme is a bifunctional enzyme. This is an exonuclease. It is a 5', 3' exonuclease, and simultaneously it is also a 5' to 3' polymerase, DNA polymerase. So it has both functions. So in one hand here the DNA polymerase comes into action. It removes one by one from 5' end. It removes the RNA. It removes the RNA one by one, and side by side on its back side there is the 3' end of the DNA. So what it does exactly, it removes the RNA in one hand. If I say in one hand, it removes the RNA primer one by one from 5' end, thereby gap is created. But simultaneously in the other hand, it goes on adding the deoxyribonucleotides to the existing 3' OH end. So it is, because of its bifunctional nature, the RNA is removed, and side by side the previous DNA is extended so that the gap is filled up. Gap is filled in. Ultimately, this comes to this. So now the color is becoming different. Anyway, here you can see it is the 3' end of DNA and 5' end of DNA. Similarly, 3' end of DNA, 5' end of DNA. And we know there is no intervening, RNA is already removed. There is no intervening, मझिरे आउ किछि RNA नहीं. RNA is removed by DNA polymerases exonuclease activity. So now the ultimate job of this DNA ligase, ligation is one ATP dependent enzyme. It ligates, stitches. This is a stitching enzyme. DNA ligase is a stitching enzyme. Its function is ligase. You might have remembered from the enzyme. It is a enzyme of class 6. So this ligates or joins the two ends, 3' terminus and 5' terminus, which are juxtaposed, which are adjacent to each other, and ultimately making it one. So similarly, this is also made. So DNA ligase ligates the different DNA segments, making into it continuous. Now, as the fork moves ahead, as the fork DNA helicase, it is a helix unwinding protein. By use of ATP energy, it breaks the hydrogen bonds existing between the bases of this strand and the bases of this strand. So as a result of which the double stranded DNA is made single stranded. And you can see the single stranded DNA, once you might have seen a rope. If you are unwinding a rope, then again it may rewind, because its force, inherent force, make them rewind. Now, but this thing is prevented. The enzyme, the proteins, single strand binding proteins, these are tetrameric proteins. These single strand binding proteins make the single strand stable, makes it stable, allows its bases to be paired, allows its bases to be paired by the incoming nucleotides. So single strand binding proteins, they bind to the single strands available due to the action of helicase. And one more enzyme, if you go on unwinding the DNA ahead of the fork, there is supercoil formation, tangling. Okay, to relax the tangles or supercoils ahead of the replication fork, there is another kind of enzyme called DNA gyration, DNA gyrase. It unwinds or relaxes the torque ahead, the supercoil formed ahead. Its mechanism, it is a type 2 topoisomerase, type 2 topoisomerase. So now I can summarize this, that what is added. Now nucleotides are added to the 3' growing end. In any DNA or RNA, the 3' OH end, hydroxyl end, is always the growing end. It is the extending end. To that end, to that terminus, the enzyme always goes on adding nucleotides. And I have told you earlier, the precursors are deoxyribonucleotide triphosphates, deoxyribonucleotide triphosphate, deoxy ATP. It is a deoxyadenosine triphosphate. But ultimately, what remains here? Now, already only PPI is released, hydrolyzed, and DATP, DMP remains, deoxyadenosine monophosphate. Even though the triphosphate forms of the nucleotides come, but what are inserted to the growing end? Now they are the monophosphate forms. And the pyrophosphate, it is 2 ATP equivalents. What I mean to say, the formation of bond between this 3' OH end and the other nucleotide needs energy. That energy is present in this building block, ATP or GTP or CTP or TTP, doesn't matter. It depends. If A is there, TTP will come. If C is there, GTP will come, but what will remain? GMP will remain, but pyrophosphate will be released subsequently. Now, I want to summarize this. One strand is synthesized continuously. So, this nascent strand which is synthesized continuously, it is called continuous strand. The other nascent strand, newly formed strand, which is synthesized discontinuously, it is called discontinuously synthesized strand. But other terminology is there, it is called leading strand. The discontinuously synthesized strand is called lagging strand. The meaning is, it is a growing end. If you look at both the strands, the 3-OH end of this leading strand is much ahead of this 3-OH end of this lagging strand, discontinuous strand. As the 3-OH end of this discontinuously synthesized strand lags or falls behind this 3-OH end of the continuous strand, that's why the term lagging strand is used. Discontinuous, it is patchy, and it is continuous, so that's why continuous strand, leading strand, discontinuous strand is lagging strand. Now, in one strand, synthesis is continuous. In the other template, synthesis is discontinuous. So, we can say, previously we have read DNA replication is semi-conservative. DNA replication is semi-conservative. Here you can see how this happens. Now, this is a new DNA exactly, it is synthesized already. This is parental strand and this is new strand. Similarly, this is parental, this is new. So, in each DNA, a strand is parental strand and there is a new strand. That's why half of the parent is conserved in each DNA. That's why it is semi-conservative. And similarly, and as we discussed, this is also semi-discontinuous because one strand is synthesized continuously, the other one is synthesized discontinuously. So, often it is told DNA replication is semi-conservative and semi-discontinuous. This is very much clear from this explanation. Next, the DNA polymerase III has a 3-5- exonuclease activity. Whenever we go on writing, even though I am writing in the board, there are some mistakes, and when I read there is a mistake, then I am wiping. Similarly, when new bases are added, if a wrong base A pairs with T, if somehow A paired with C, and this went on, A pair T perfect pairing, A pairing with C is imperfect pairing. When the enzyme saw that there is imperfect pairing, the enzyme comes back. पुणी पछकु फेरी आसीबो काहेकि ना एटा थिला 3 एंड मने पड़ुछ जदी दिस वाज द 3 एंड एई जगह धरन ए सी पेयर हे जाइछि एंजाइम कोन करबो एई एंड रु पुणी काटी काटी आसीबो बिकॉज ए रॉन्ग बेस वाज इनकॉर्पोरेटेड इन द nascent strand, so that was a mistake. As we correct our exam papers by rereading, and we delete the portions which are not necessary or wrong ones. Similarly, the wrong bases incorporated in the new strand must be removed. So that's why this DNA polymerase removes the bases from one end, that is 3' end, comes back, and ultimately this C is removed. Wrong base is removed, and again the correct base is incorporated, and again it goes. So the 3'5' exonuclease activity is a proofreading activity. तामने से proofread करछि whether the writing by me or the incorporation by me, bases added by me, the enzyme is correct or not. If when it is found to be wrong, it goes back, comes back, removes this, correct this, and so that property is called proofreading activity. So this activity minimizes mutation. This minimizes mutation errors. So errors are minimized by this mechanism. Next, when we complete the process of DNA replication, DNA is the genetic material in the cell. Let us look at the process associated with us like transcription and subsequently translation. At least we know the terms. So for better understanding how the genetic material replicates, how the genetic material functions, let us look at a concept that was proposed by Francis Crick in 1958, that is called central dogma of molecular biology. Central dogma of molecular genetics. F.S. Crick, Francis Crick in 1958. This was proposed. What in 1958? Their vision of Crick was that how the genetic material functions. The genetic material of all cells, I am not speaking of the virus because it will take a lot of time. All the cells have DNA as genetic material. The process we just studied, that is replication. So DNA replicates. What it does by that? Now, when DNA replicates, sometimes it is autocatalytic function. A DNA gives rise to two DNAs. It replicates, produces two identical copies. So now that is called DNA replication. Replication is an event of DNA. So DNA gives rise to DNA, DNA gives rise to DNA. If you look at this, a DNA by replication gives rise to two DNA molecules. But by means what does it mean? We discussed earlier, when a DNA replicates in S phase of cell cycle, it is meant for distributing to two different cells during mitosis. So DNA replication is meant for cell to cell transfer of genetic information. Then what about this? DNA gives rise to RNA. DNA gives rise to RNA. RNA gives rise to polypeptide or protein. This thing at least we know. Let us see what DNA is. We talked a lot about DNA. What it does? Now it stores genetic information. It stores genetic information in the sequence of bases. But storing information doesn't mean anything. If a computer is idle, we are not operating this. It has loaded software. But when we access that through mouse or this keyboard and other things, give command, then it does the work. Similarly, a gene does the work when it produces protein. So DNA is often called the cell software of a cell, and proteins are called ultimately the hardwares of the cell, and the RNA and proteins are called the hardware of the cells. So proteins ultimately work in the cell. But what protein will be synthesized, whether it is keratin protein or whether it is the insulin protein, that would be synthesized. It is decided by the gene. Information is there in the gene. So gene is a piece of DNA, that I will tell you. So DNA synthesizes or gives information to protein. But DNA, you can see, DNA is present in a cell in single copy. If you look at the prokaryotic cell, there is single copy of circular DNA. In that circular DNA, there are 4,500 genes, but that is a single copy. If the DNA is lost from the cell is lost. Similarly, in our cell, the chromosome 1 from father side is present in one copy, and from mother side, which is a little bit different, is also present in one copy. So as long as the cell is living alive बंची रही से पर्यंत तार DNA रही. If DNA is lost, the cell is lost. So that's why we say we have a lifelong supply of DNA. Cell टा बंची थिवा जाए तार DNA रखी थाए. But RNAs, proteins are produced, they die or they are degraded. So multiple copies of proteins are formed from DNA, but DNA is present in single copy, you must remember. Now this DNA produces RNA. RNA गुड़ा को आमे कहउछन intermediary. आमे जदि कहंती these are intermediaries by intermediary molecules. What they do? Now they are involved in transmission of or flow of information from DNA to protein. So DNA by way of the process called transcription give rise to RNA. RNA by means of translation give rise to protein. So there are two major events called transcription and translation. So these two are unidirectional processes in our system. From DNA, RNA can only be synthesized, and from RNA, protein can be synthesized, and we cannot back this. We cannot back this in our system. This is not possible in our system. But what is seen towards 1970, okay, it was seen that in HIV, a kind of retrovirus, human immunodeficiency virus causing AIDS, that has RNA as genetic material. When it enters our cell, it utilizes its genetic material, that is RNA, and it has in its virus or in it has one enzyme called reverse transcriptase. Reverse transcriptase. Transcription जो enzyme टा करे ता ना होची transcriptase, so to say. So this is reverse transcriptase. By seeing RNA को template हिसाब रे यूज करी छांचो हिसाब रे यूज करी DNA तैयारी करे. But our cell don't have that capacity to synthesize DNA from RNA. We have only this. The bold arrows or the pathways are followed by our cells, prokaryotic cells. But this is used by certain viruses, retroviruses. So now the flow of information from DNA to protein was said to be unidirectional, and it is also unidirectional in our cell, but in certain viruses this path can be reversed. So this DNA to DNA is meant for flow of information from cell to cell, but this much, what this can be? I can say this is involved, this step is gene expression. एतिकी होची total gene expression. So gene expression, gene is made of DNA, and the DNA is the information molecule. From DNA it gives rise to RNA gives rise to protein. Transcription, translation. Let me tell the fundamental things. DNA is made of 4 kinds of bases, and if you look at it is A, T, T, C, G like this, and similarly this is T, A, G, C. But RNA consists of 4 kinds of bases. It is your A, U, A, G, and C like this. So both the molecules, both the nucleic acids are written in the language of bases, but its base T is replaced by uracil in case of RNA. As we have read, Hindi is a language. There are at least 2 scripts I want to tell. One is Devanagari script, another is Bhojpuri script. As we have Sambalpuri or Kotki language, we say, but we speak Odia. Odia is the language. Scripts are different. Similarly, DNA and RNA, they have the nucleic acid language. It is written in the terms of letters, the bases. But here this letter is replaced by this letter. Only script changes in this process. So that's why change of scripts is called transcription. But this is translation. This language is entirely changed. We have done translation Odia to English. We translate. Language is changing. But that we are doing according to certain dictionary, certain dictionary. Similarly, we will come across. So translation is a process when the sequence of bases in RNA changes to the amino acid language of the polypeptides or the proteins. So now this is about the central dogma of molecular genetics, which speaks the flow of information from DNA to DNA, which ensures flow of information from generation to generation, and this much how the DNA gives rise to proteins or the information flows within the cell. So next is better to go for knowing gene expression. Start करें. Okay, what a gene is? Gene in always I am talking in the context of either prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. We are not going to see the variations found in the viruses. So gene is a segment of DNA. If you look at eukaryotic system, eukaryotic chromosome consists of long stretches of DNA. लंबा डीएनए खंडे से ये खंडे जीन थी एटे आउ गोटे जीन थाई पारे और ता पाखु थाई पारे. व्हाट आई मीन टू से, दिस इज जीन ए जीन, दिस इज बी जीन एंड नेक्स्ट बी जीन सी जीन लाइक दिस. सो जीन इज ए स्ट्रेच ऑफ डीएनए. जीन इज ए स्ट्रेच ऑफ डीएनए इन द लॉन्ग सीक्वेंस ऑफ the or long DNA of the eukaryotes. Or if you look at this prokaryotic chromosome, it is already established there are 4,500 genes in E. coli cell, Escherichia coli cell. So ultimately a gene, we are not specifying any gene, आमे कहर ना नौ नांती, any gene may be a stretch of DNA, but this gene has also a structure. जेमिति आमे कहउछंती there is a long land mass, but आम घरटा गोटे स्पेसिफिक एरिया, आम घर एरिया आ ता घर पड़ोसी घर एरिया समान न हो पारे, बट आम घर प्लान आम जमती घर कर गोटे रही गाधेवाई से सबू से पड़ोसी घर गोटे प्लान थी पाखापाखी प्लान, बट एरिया मे डिफर. ता घर ना आ मो घर ना अलग. दिस इज एक्स हाउस, दैट इज वाई हाउस. जीन एक्स, जीन ए, जीन बी. This is big or long stretch, this is small stretch, doesn't matter, but they have a common plan. Similarly, this also has genes in it. So I can say मो घर ठारू आउ गोटे घर लोकर घर पाखे थाई पारे और सेठी किसी गोटे नाल जाई पारते पड़ियाटे थाई पारे, खेल पड़िया थाई पारे, बट दैट इज ए लैंड मास. सिमिलरली दिस इज डीएनए, बट आकु आमे कहबा नॉन जेनिक डीएनए. दिस इज एंटायरली डीएनए, but this pertains to relates to a gene, but this is non-genic DNA. Non-genic DNA. This is DNA which doesn't code for any protein or RNA. Let me come to what exactly a gene is. So gene is a stretch of DNA which codes for either an mRNA or rRNA or tRNA. Earlier our concept was like this. Before 1980 it was thought that gene codes for protein, but we see that in the cell, in addition to proteins, there are rRNAs, tRNAs. So from what source they are produced? Definitely tRNA has its corresponding gene. The number of tRNAs in a cell, they have their corresponding genes. The rRNAs, they have their corresponding genes, and mRNAs have their corresponding genes. That means mRNA ru protein asibo, but these two RNAs एटा को जेनिक आरएनए mRNA is genic RNA because it carries the information of a gene and ultimately it is translated what protein to be synthesized, but these two help in the translation process as we will see in the translation mechanism. So now a gene is a sequence of a DNA, stretch of a DNA which codes for either mRNA which leads to protein, or it may leads to synthesis of tRNA or synthesis of RNA. So RNA have their genes, tRNAs have their genes, and mRNAs proteins, mRNA, and corresponding they have their genes. So genes are different stretches of DNA, they are different length, but what ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି କହିଲି ଆମ ଘର 5 ଜଣଙ୍କର ଘର ସମସ୍ତ ଘରେ ଗୋଟେ ବେଡରୁम थाए, ठाकुर घर ଗୋଟେ थाए, ଗୋଟେ ଗାଧୁଆ ଘର थाए, ଏମିତି ସବୁ ରୋଷେଇ ଘର थाए, ଗୋଟେ लिविंग स्पेस थाए. Similarly a gene has different parts, at least 2 parts. ମୁଁ ଯଦି एटा को expand करे what it would be. Now a gene is a stretch of DNA. Now एटा continue करिछि. It has a promoter and a coding sequence. Coding sequence. It is in the context of mRNA protein. So this is called promoter. This is called promoter. Because promoter is the site of the gene, it is present to the upstream. It is present to the upstream of the gene, and coding sequence to the downstream, and it is upstream. The nomenclature is like that. So promoter is the part of the gene, it is regulatory in function, So to promoter RNA polymerase binds, because a gene, I told you, a gene is meaningless if it is silent. A gene has to express, a gene has to produce the protein, and to produce protein it must form an intermediary molecule, मध्य molecule गोटे कौन mRNA तैयारी कर. Gene cannot directly be used for synthesis of protein, because I told you gene is present is only in one copy in the cell, and if that is used directly it may be damaged or destroyed or something else. That's why the cells have an intermediary molecule called messenger RNA, which is a copy of the gene, and that messenger RNA is used in the field for synthesis of protein. That's why its name is messenger. It carries the message from the gene or the DNA to the site of protein synthesis, that is ribosome, where it is present. We'll see. Okay, so promoter is upstream of the gene and it is present, it is short region, and the promoter sites are designated as -1. Remember, the base from which transcription begins, that is designated as +1, and there is no 0 in between, and the base adjacent to +1 site, that is designated as a -1. So this base is -1, -2, -3, -4 likewise. So upstream bases of the coding sequence constitute the promoter, and the promoters have a consensus sequence. Let me tell you, in prokaryotes prokaryote promoters have a consensus sequence. Promoter has a -10 base sequence, that is T A A T T A, like this. T A T A A T T A T A T A नहीं T A T A T A T A A T. Anyway, and that is called Pribnobox, because if genes from bacteria, genes from prokaryote, when they are surveyed, analysis करागला, gene B हो, gene C हो, gene D हो, any gene हो, समस्त promoter को जब study करागला, they found, scientists found from -1 base sequence, when they reach -10, there they find this Pribnobox or this TA sequence. That is common to almost all promoters That's why this is a consensus sequence. This is a consensus sequence. And this is called Pribnow box because this was discovered by Richard Pribnow. So now promoter is the regulatory sequence to which this is the site to which RNA polymerase binds. RNA